Hi guys, this is going to be covering the Westlake Bridge Club's first meeting slides. If you weren't here, this is the video for you. And also if you weren't, even if you're not part of the Westlake Bridge Club, if you want to learn bridge, then feel free to follow along. And yeah, our co-presidents are Charlie Chen and Ray Dobal, and our sponsor is Miss Kelly. All right. And the goal for the first week is for us to understand kind of what bridge is, and we're gonna explain the first part of the rules because the rules are like really complex and really long, but hopefully we'll get there eventually. And um, well, if we were in there, then we would have. If we were in the club, then we would have played, and we did play. So yeah. All right. What is bridge? Well, bridge is a card game. It's 52 cards. So that means 4 suits, 13 ranks per suit, and in bridge the ace is highest. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then jack, then queen, then king, then ace is the order from lowest to highest. And we're going to use high and low in the play, which is what we're covering now. And when you sort your hand in bridge, everyone's going to get 13 cards. There's 4 players, which are grouped into 2 pairs. So there's and bridge we give everyone cards on the direction. So north south, the opposite ones will be a pair. North south will be a pair. East west will be another pair, and you're trying to work together with your partner. And yeah, and there's 13 cards per player. 13 times 4. If you do the math, it's 52 cards, which means every single card in the deck will be used. And once you get your 13 cards, you want to sort your hand, because having your hand in the random order will get really, really confusing. And when you sort your hand, we sort them by suits, which means we put spades and spades together, hearts and hearts together, diamonds and diamonds together, and clubs and clubs. And that's going to help us immensely. And there's 2 parts. There's the bidding and there's the play. And the bidding's very, very complex. We're just going to kind of ignore it a little bit for now. And then the play, I'm going to cover now. And the first section is we're not considering trump, which is going to be in the next meeting. So we're just going considering no trump. And yeah, let's go next. And okay, the play. So the play goes clockwise. So that means north, then south, east, then south, then west, sorry. And then players play 1 by 1, which means that every time the player goes, they can only play 1 card. Then they pass it to the next player. And once everyone has played exactly 1 card, that is what we call a trick. And a trick is, a trick, and whoever has the highest in that trick, they'll win the trick. And one of the basics of the trick is following suit, which basically means if, let's say, north plays a spade, if east has a spade, he's forced to play a spade. He can't play like a club or a diamond or something like that. And yeah. And then when we place our cards, we place the short end facing the winners. So I'll probably do something at the end for this, but yeah. And then the winner of the trick will get to start the next trick. And to start next trick, you can pick any card in your hand and just play it. And we won't put all the cards in the middle because the cards will actually never be reused, so there's not really a point. And in duplicate bridge, do want the same boards played in all tables, so that's not going to be possible. All right. And of course, I've talked about let's say north plays a spade, as east. If you do have a spade, you have to play a spade. But if you don't have a spade, then what do? Well, you wouldn't play a discard, and you can actually choose any card in your hand. And discard means that you don't have one played suit and you're forced to play another card. So and discards, when you're discarding, you think you're discarding trash, and that's basically what's happening. So when you're discarding, you're never going to beat the original suit. Even if north plays 2 of spades and you play the ace of clubs, this is not going to help you. This is not going to beat the two of spades. Currently, a two of spades is the highest. Now that obviously might change if someone else plays a spade higher than two, but if no one else has another spade and two spades is considered the highest. And one thing note about this is that you always play the original suit led. So, like, if North leads a spade, East plays a club. South should not be playing clubs. You can't just change the suit. You have to stick with the original suit. And so South will have to play a spade, if he has one, of course. Yeah, that's something that a lot of people actually get wrong. So, important to point that out. That's just a slide. And then we have more new concepts, and if you're like, if that w- yeah, you should, if you haven't really been able to digest this, this is the moment you should pause and maybe rewind a little and digest like what like what I've said so far and fully understand it, because we're getting some new concepts, as you may be able to tell by the color change from green to blue, and we're going. So yeah, dummy, declare, and first trick. So, a few questions, and yeah, these are basically just more advanced mechanics of the game that are crucial to the game still, and that's what makes this basically what makes Bridge. So we're gonna have declare and dummy. They're gonna be partners, and declare is like, and they will be decided by the bidding. So I mean, I know that raises more questions than answers, like what is the bidding and all that stuff. But we're just going to ignore that for right now, and we're going to focus on we're going to say that we've arbitrarily chosen to declare, and his partner is now dummy, and now what happens next? So the first things first, declare is left. You can think of it as dummy plays right after the opening leader, or you can think of it as declare plays last. Declare will always play last. They're going to make the first move, which means they can choose any card they want in their hand, and then when they play, that starts the first trick. And after this first opening lead, is what we call it, dummy is going to table their hand on the table. They're going to put it on the table, face up, sort it by suit, as they should have already done, and they're going to lay their hands for everyone to see. You're obviously able to see it, and then declare is going to and then dummy just basically loses control. If you think of like an actual dummy, I mean, I'm not saying the person is dumb, but well, for the sport they are. And declare will control dummy's place, which means that declare can force dummy to do whatever he wants, and this is actually usually a good thing for dummy as well, because declare and dummy are partners. Remember, they're trying to work together, and they're gonna work towards winning. If one then wins, the other one also wins as well. So this is why so this is why I mean, yeah, just I don't know where I was going there, but you know, I'm probably not going to redo this, so yeah, let's just move on. So now we're going to get to, because bidding is such an important part of bridge. After all, it's not like play is the main thing. Bidding is just a side thing. No, they're both very important. I can't really say which one's more important. So we're just gonna make a simpler version of bidding. Keep in mind this is not the final version of bidding, and yeah, so a method to evaluate we use in bidding, and to evaluate how good your hand is, it's called HCP. Stands for, you don't really need to know what it stands for, but it does stand for high card points. We just abbreviate it HCP though. So HCP, you want to have more of them, and the more you have, the better your hand is. And how we're going to count them is we're going to focus on our aces, kings, queens, and jacks. So our aces, we count the number of aces, and each ace is going to be worth 4 high card points. Each king is 3 high card points. Each queen is 2, and a jack is 1. So that's basically the method. And how we're going to do it is everyone announces their high card points at the beginning. We go one by one, doesn't matter what order, but probably just do it clockwise for practice. Okay, we're just going to practice with the hand shown in the diagram. How many high card points is this? Pause the video and try this for yourself. It's already conveniently sorted the suits, as you may be able to tell. And yeah, we're just going to calculate how many hiker points this is. All right, hopefully you've done that. And so we're going to start with the aces. Each ace is worth 4 points. I see 3 aces in this hand. So we have 4 times 3, which is 12 currently. And then each king is worth 3 points. I see 2 kings in this hand. So 3 times 2, this is going to give us 6 more points. So 12 points for the ace is 6 points for the king. That's 18 total already. Every queen is worth 2 points. I only see 1 queen. So we're going to add 2 times 1, which is 2, to 18. And then we're going to get 20. And each jack is worth 1 point. And I only see 1 jack in this hand. So 20 plus 1 times 1 equals 21. So the correct answer is 21 high card points, and hopefully that's what you got. And remember, tens and anything lower than that, we're not counting for simplicity. I mean, high card points are mainly made for simplicity. So, yeah. And I'll show an example of what I mean by everyone announces the second bullet point. And here's the summary. So, it's partly surely for me to check that I didn't miss anything. And this is partially for you to review like everything in the slide. Stay tuned for the next presentation where we will introduce part 2 of the play, which will include Trump. And no, it's not Donald Trump. It is in fact nothing related to him. Probably existed earlier than him. So, yeah. Anyways, I think I'm going to conclude it here and stay tuned for a few examples that I'll include in the video. Okay, now we'll see a few examples with what we talked about in the video. So the first thing we're going to see is the play in action. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this hand, and I'm kind of new to doing this, so this might not be the best, but this is the hand, the unsorted version. I haven't sorted for you guys yet, so we're going to sort together. So first thing we're going to do, it doesn't really matter which suit we start with. I see I have a lot of diamonds, and I'm just going to start with diamonds because why not? So we're just going to take the diamonds, we're going to group them together. I like sorting them from highest to lowest like this. It's lowest on the outside, or closer to you, I should say. But I mean, really, you could just you could do this and you would probably be fine. But I think it's best to either do this, like this, or you can do the reverse, which is put the honors on the outside, high cards on the outside, and this is also fine as well. But for this video, I'm just gonna do this because it's what I'm used to. And then after that, we have, well, we can just finish off the rest. Clubs and clubs, there's only 2 of them. Spades, we have spades. And then finally, we have hearts, which is going to be like this. So yeah, just taking cards, putting them back where it should be. This hopefully is straightforward. I'm not sure though. And yeah, this is our sorted hand. And you should usually put them, I like black, red, so you don't confuse spades and clubs accidentally, for example. But I mean, if you do this, it's not like it matters, but you can clearly tell that, I mean, it might be easy like this, but let's just say this is some other card, and now you might have difficulty recognizing that this is a club, not a spade, this card right over here. So that's why I prefer black, red, or red, black. I mean, this is obviously accomplishes the same thing, and there's not really a best way to sort your hand, it's just personal preference, but that's just what I like. So yeah, that's one hand, and I'm just gonna quickly go through the rest, but because I've done this many times, and you may not be this fast when you begin, but this is how fast you can sort your hand. It's not, you'll just get this with practice. See, it's sorted. I'm going to do the same with all 4 hands, and every player will hold 1 hand when you're doing this, so it's That's a club, not a spade. What was I saying? Sorry. It's, yeah. So you only have sort 1. I'm sorting 4 because I'm going the extra mile for you guys. Almost done. And all right, we're done. Okay. Now we're going to demonstrate the whole process. Just one example deal. I don't know if I need to make more, but you guys just tell me in the comments. Just tell me if you guys have any questions. I'll hopefully answer in a reasonable amount of time. So let's just begin. So for demonstration purposes, it doesn't really matter, but we're going to say this hand is north. And I don't know if it's mirrored or not, but for me, I'm just going to assume it's not mirrored. So clockwise direction, so this is east, south, and west. This might not be cardinally accurate, but it doesn't really matter. So play will go north, east, south, west, like that. And so we're going to announce our hiker points. It doesn't really matter, but I'm just going to do it in that order. So we can count our hiker points with this hand that I think you guys can see. So 3 plus 1 plus 3 plus 1, that's 8 points. So North would say, I have 8 points. Next we're going to move on to East. And keep in mind, I mean, you're obviously not going to see all these hands, but East, I mean, this hand's kind of bad. It only has 1 singular point, this jack over here. So it's 1. East will say, I have 1 point, and everyone probably laugh at him because he has a bad hand. And then South, well, 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 2. That is going to be 14 points. So South will say, I have 14 points. And at this point, if you do the math correctly, sorry, I forgot how. 8, 1, 14. So this guy should have 17, which is a lot. But let's just double check, 3 plus 2 is 5, plus 1 is 6, plus 4 is 10, plus 3 is 13, plus 2 is 15, and plus 2 is 17. So yeah, we did our point counts correctly. And for example, if player 1 mistakenly if North mistakenly counts their points as 7 points, then we notice, ooh, there's a discrepancy, and then we have to check, and yeah. We have to check, like, everyone double check their points, how many points do you actually have, and then only until 40 can we actually start the game. Alright. And I mean, feel free to follow along. It's just an example, by the way. So this side, north and south, have a total of 8 plus 14. And that's going to be 8 plus 14. Sorry, my hand was blocking the way. That's going to be 22 points. And this is 1 plus 17 is 18. So clearly, north and south, they have more points than east and west combined. So they're going to be the dummy/declare. And the person with the higher... So yeah, once you solidify which pair is the dummy and defender, that's what we call the offense, and the other 2 one will be on the defense. So out of the offense, whichever one has more points is the declare. So in this case, this guy has 8 points. This guy's 14 points. So 14 is greater than 8. So this South will actually be declaring on this board, and North will be dummy. And South will be declaring, which means the person to his left is, the person to his left, or the person who would play after him, or there's like a million ways you can memorize this, but it's going to be this dude who's going to be leading, and he's going to make the opening lead. Doesn't really matter which card he plays. We're just going to say he plays, I don't know, we're just going to say he plays Ace of Spades, okay? Ace of Spades is played, and now North will table his dummy, and I actually don't know how this will show up in here, but hopefully like this. I think you guys can see this. So this is how you usually want to place your dummy. I'm not gonna have enough space, unfortunately. Actually, am I gonna have enough space? Maybe I can make this work. So this is the first time I've been using this, so have mercy on me in the comments. We're gonna move the other way. hopefully this is good enough. Yeah, we're just gonna say this is good enough. I'm just gonna move everyone down. So yeah, the dummy, you're supposed to put it in vertical suits. Like basically everyone does it vertically. I have yet seen someone who do it other way other than this. But yeah, in general, this is just the way you want to do it as a dummy. And it doesn't really matter which the order is, but like as with scoring cards, red, black probably works best to avoid the confusion from, well, yeah. Like if I had these two together, I don't know, you want to save your partner the pain of like, oh, okay, I gotta concentrate, this is spade, this is club, instead of over here, I can easily tell, oh, this is obviously, well, that might not be a valid reasoning, but this is obviously spade, this is obviously club, and when they're together, it's like, which one's which? Yeah, and then declare south, he'd be holding his hand, and he'd be controlling dummy, so he's gonna say, well, we're gonna play spade, have to play spade, so I was gonna play the 4 spades. Does that show up well? No, we'll just put it here, whatever. Then this dude is gonna have to play a spade. So he's gonna play, I don't know, the 2. There's no point in playing a higher card because as we've said, the ace is the highest and it's already been played. So it's like, oh wow. And then the 7 over here. There's no point in playing a high card under ace, of course. So who won the trick? Well, you can pause for like to comprehend and try it for yourself, but it's, I mean, the ace is the biggest, so, and everything else is less than it, so the ace wins the trick. So we're gonna place the short ends towards the people who win the trick, so like this, then we're gonna turn it over. So do you guys get this? Put the short ends towards the people who win the trick, and turn it over. This signals that east-west has won the trick, and same with this card. And for north-south, they would turn it the same way. So everything should be facing the same way. There shouldn't, if you ever have like something like this, where one card is facing different from the others, this is like not correct. This should never happen, honestly. Everything should face the same way. So after they face the same way, we can continue on with like, say, okay, I play the ace, I play the king now. And I'm just gonna, same thing. You're gonna play a spade, you have to play a spade, so 10 spades, for example. Then only one option, it's 9 spades and not another option. And then so south. Oh, that's weird, okay. That was interesting. 8. Oh, okay. He's not supposed to trick again. So like this. Okay. Then we're gonna say queen of spades. It's next. There's only one option for dummy, so it has to be jack's played card. Okay, now we have no more spades, so this is a crucial part. Well, maybe not for this hand, but you have to. Yeah, you can play anything else, but you're never gonna beat the queen. So it's kind of obvious with this hand, you're never gonna beat the queen. You have no queen. So, but after we like play a card from this, we're just gonna say a heart. It doesn't really matter. And you should, and yeah, and then declare has this monster hand, 3 aces. Wow, and there's a queen. But the problem is, he even plays something like, well, first of all, he can play any card. He doesn't have to play hearts. So you see how this heart is played? Declare does not play hearts. Declare plays spades because it was the suit first. It was the suit first played. So he has to play spades, but he doesn't have one. So he has to play another card. And a person who doesn't know the rules of bridge or doesn't understand the suit clearly would be like, ooh, haha, there's a queen over here, and I have an ace, so I will play the ace and I will win the trick. And then they will lose the trick. And why is this, guys? Well, you guys probably figured it out from the presentation earlier, but because it's not a spade. You can't be, a discard can never be a non-discard. So therefore, your ace of diamonds, the effort you put in by playing the ace of diamonds, it is now wasted because East-West still has won the trick. So same way. And I'm just going to demonstrate an example of North-South winning trick. Let's say He plays 7 of diamonds. I don't know. And declare he wants revenge for his lost ace of diamonds. So he goes up with the king, and this guy apparently does not have anything over the king, so he's gonna play small. And by the way, this is not how you should think when you're playing bridge. I'm just trying to make it fun for y'all. And Claire does not have a diamond, so he can play anything. And it doesn't really matter what he plays. So he's really playing club. He's learned his lesson. He's not playing an ace this time. Okay, so important. So sorry, that was a little premature. North South have one trick, so they're the winners. So the shorts had to go to them. So for South, it would look like this. And notice how this is perpendicular to this, the previous, when East West won the trick, and they're all going to be perpendicular. So something at 45 degrees will never happen. You never had degrees with 30 degrees for 31 degrees and things like that of rotation. So it's gonna be nice and easy, relatively, if you got your card correctly to count how many tricks that one side has taken and the other side has taken. And so declare has one, and he plays from dummy. And I guess something important that I forgot to mention is that if declare now tries to play from his hand, he cannot play from his hand. So just because you control dummy doesn't mean that you can teleport from one side to the other. No. If a dummy wins the trick, dummy still has to play the card. If declare wins the trick, declare still has to play the card. And that is actually a big part of bridge. And that's why I'm going to probably explain some theories of the name, but it's not because someone was on a bridge and then just thought of this, though it could be because of that. But he's on dummy. If he tries to play ace of clubs, he'll be told, no, that is not allowed. You must take it back, and there'll be some penalties. And actually, as declared, there won't be no penalties, but you just have to take it back. You have to play from dummy, and yeah. And I'm just gonna, I don't want to make this longer than it is, and I'm pretty sure you guys have seen enough example tricks. If not, you may let me know in the comments. Alright, so we're just gonna put these in order, for example. And the other ones, everyone's had the same one. So this is North's, right? So we're gonna say they lose next trick, they win the next 3, and they lose this. We're just gonna say this is how it ends. It doesn't have to be exactly how it ends, but for demonstration purposes, let me see if I can move all of it in the camera. I'm struggling with technology, guys. And yeah, so now now the rest of the cards don't really matter, so I'm just gonna clean them up. And I'm not gonna throw away these cards in the middle, even though I could, because technically in a real tournament, you don't have to participate in tournaments, but in case you're wondering, you don't throw them in because the other tables will play the exact same board. So that kind of reduces the luck factor. That's why it's different from stuff like poker, where it's a lot. I would say it's a lot more luck based than bridge. Maybe just one deal of bridge. If you're just playing one table of bridge, that's pretty luck based. But if you're actually at a tournament, unlike a poker tournament, which I'm assuming does not have the exact same cards, having the exact same people in the exact same situation, bridge does have this. So the luck factor is a lot more limited, I should say. And we're just gonna count, and everyone else is the same. So North South have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tricks. Okay. And East West have the remaining 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the trick total is some 13. Why? Because there's one winner every trick, and there's 13 tricks total. So clearly, yeah. So yeah, North South gets 5, East West gets 8. And for simplicity, I mean, if there are 2 tables, we would pass these cards to the other table and see which side did better. If the other table instead, North South had 6 and East West had 7, then what would happen is the other tables North South will win. This table North South will lose. And by extension, the other table East West took 7. This table East West took 8. So this table 1, I'm just gonna call it table 1's East West took more than table 2's North South. Table 1's East West took more than table 2's East West. And So therefore, table 1 East West beat table 2 East West. So table 1 East West wins, table 2 North South wins, but they're both of them combined win, and that's the logic behind like bridge can be a team as well. There's can be a four. This can be an 8-person game with 2 tables, two teams. There's head to head against each other, and that's the basic gist. Is that table 1 East West and table 2 North South are partners, and table 1 our teammates. Sorry, not partners. Table 1 East West, table 2 North South, and table 1 North South and table 2 East West are partners. Why do I keep saying partners? It's teammates. Sorry, guys. North partners refers to 2 people. Teammates refers to a team. So like more than 2 people, 4 people in bridge, 4 to 6 people in bridge. But 6 people is a lot more complicated. And there's something called sit outs where some people just don't play. So that if you're wondering how that could work, it's not 3 tables. It's something more different. And yeah, I mean, I think yeah. So if you have 2 tables, that's how you decide who wins, who loses. But if you only have 1 table, we're just gonna say, and this is gonna have a high degree of luck in it, because if you get a better hand, you're probably gonna take the more tricks. We're just gonna say that whoever gets more tricks wins. That's probably not fair, and it is luck. But I mean, if you're complaining about luck, find a second table, spread the game to more people, send them this video, and yeah, and I think I'm gonna end the game. I think I'm gonna end the video here, and yeah, that was basically what we did for week 1 of Bridge Club. So if you are at the Westlake Bridge Club, you are going to be caught up, and yeah, I'm just gonna stop it here, I guess. Bye.